Tonight on Podcast Them Down, Mike went to Japan and I didn't. Hey, Metal Nation, it is I, Tim. That's Mike. This is Podcast Them Down. I don't think this counts as a Metal on Location episode, but, you know, our listeners already know the answer because they have seen the title. It says whether this is Metal on Location because this was a family trip. Was this a vacation you went on?
It is, yes.
All right, well...
Or it was.
I've probably said this on the show before, but I've never had a desire to go to Japan, and then work sent me there, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. So, but I am not paying my own way back there. I'm waiting for work to send me again. You know?
Right. All right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
And my trip was very depressing. For reasons we may or may not get into. It was the places I went. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a tendency to try to go on these like grandiose vacations, and it's more or less born out of the idea that I should go to as crazy a places as I am able when I'm young. Well, not that I'm very young anymore, but you know, it's like while I'm able to put up with this, I should try to do it.
Oh wait, I thought you went to Japan, not Pyongyang.
Well, okay, so I just got in my head. It's like I want to go to Japan. Now this is my second time. My first time is when I took my wife, then girlfriend.
Did your wife know you brought your girlfriend with you?
Damn it.
Stop setting it up.
So we went then and we had a great time. It was really lovely. So this time we took our twin 5-year-old daughters.
Just to make it, it's pretty metal, your callous disregard for everyone around you.
Yeah.
Hey kids, let's get on this tube for 15 hours.
So, yeah, interestingly, they do really well with the planes.
Nice.
So you just put on TV and it's basically like, okay, ready to rock.
I mean, that's what I do at home.
So I mean, the plane was long, but it was fine. So we get there, and immediately the thing that the girls start hating on is the amount of walking.
Oh yeah. Well, Tokyo is. I assume you went to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a huge city.
Yeah, and they're normally okay with walking, but then the other thing was the humidity and the heat, which you'd think being from Maryland we'd be kind of used to.
Right.
But it's just another level.
Interesting. I wasn't there in the summer, so.
Oh yeah, and you know, I had people warn me like, "Oh, what are you doing going in July?" But hey, I'm an idiot apparently. So, you know, when we've gone on big trips before, you know, the girls have been kind of okay with the walking because it ended in something fun, like a playground or, you know, a kid's place or you know, just anything like that. So you try to like do a site, do a playground, do another site, do a playground. But this time, because the weather was so hot, we couldn't really do the...
It's a death march to something, and then the playground's on fire or something.
Yes. So it made the trip difficult in a little bit of a different way than I've experienced, and I suppose I should have seen it coming. That being said, we did have a good time. Some interesting things that I noticed are when we went 11 years ago, we were like we were a very few foreigners, like obvious foreigners in the country. And this time, there were a lot of people.
11 years ago. I'm thinking, yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why that would have been.
Well, I mean, I think there's like a bit of a global wanderlust type situation going on now. I think there's kind of more interest in Japan in general. It's like, oh yeah, it's safe, it's clean.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
They cleaned up after the Olympics.
like Tokyo is like the cleanest place on earth. I swear, which makes no sense because it's the most populous city on earth.
Right.
And like to put Tokyo in perspective, it's basically like 8 New York-sized cities
Wow.
together, right? Like it's
Yeah. When I was there, I remember getting, something from 7-Eleven, which I called the American Embassy, and you take your sandwich or whatever outside, and then, I guess I'm carrying this trash for a while because
Yep.
that's the other thing. There wasn't too many places to throw away trash, which is also confusing.
except for the 7-Eleven.
Right.
How they get you in. So like, I'm trying to think of some other things. One of the things that they've done to try to like increase tourism is accept credit cards. So Japan previously, or I guess traditionally, has been like a very heavily cash-based society. I have a buddy that teaches English over there, and he was telling me that, yeah, even if you're going to buy a car, it's like cash.
Wow.
Yeah, so and you would just carry just like gobs of cash on you at all times. This time I didn't need to do that. Last time it was basically I had to carry cash everywhere. This time I was able to pay with cards, but it gets funky because Japan has their own sort of, it's not really a credit card, but they have their own notion of like a payment card that's kind of used more for the rail systems, but can also pay for other things. But they're not.
Sounds like itchy and scratchy fun money, crusty land fun dollars.
It's as far as I understand it, it's technology that like exists in your phone, but you can't use it in an American phone. You have to have like a Japanese phone, or you have to get one of these IC cards, which I believe is what they're called. There's Pasmo and Suica, and if you have either of these, you can use them to pay and do whatever you need. But like it's a bit of a rigmarole. So I was generally able to use my credit card wherever I wanted to, but there were places where I couldn't, and then there were places where it was just totally cash. Okay, like the first few days, so beyond that, the first few days we were there, it's a 13-hour difference time zone. So we spent a lot of time just trying to get over the jet lag. We went to Europe last year.
In the middle of your Japan trip.
Yeah, we just did another trip. But the girls were able to adjust to that much easier than this, which makes sense. So Tokyo was a bit of a wipe in terms of like actually getting anything done. We went and saw the Asakasa Temple, but otherwise it was mostly like, let's get the girls to the point where they're happy. Which I'd say we did not necessarily succeed at.
Oh.
But we tried, damn it. after we did Tokyo, we went to Osaka, and we basically used Osaka as like a base for doing a bunch of stuff. So we took like a day trip to Kyoto and saw the Golden Pavilion because my one daughter has started watching some anime, and I don't know how she found it. But it's one of those things where there's an English dub that tries to hide the fact that it's a Japanese cartoon. They're like, look, go ahead.
Not very well.
Well, they're like, let's go to the Asia Pacific Expo. Look, they have a full recreation of the Golden Pavilion. And I was like, Molly, we're going to Japan. We could just go see that.
I pulled up a map of Osaka because my Japanese geography isn't very good. There's a town called Toyota. How about that?
Yeah, and that's a friend of mine teaches English near there. So
but you're not allowed to say Honda.
No, you'll be publicly flayed.
Or play Street Fighter, I guess.
I last time I was there, I tried to play Street Fighter, and some kid kicked my ass.
I'm really not at all surprised. Some kid could kick my ass here in Street Fighter.
But when I was in 7th grade, we had a Japanese exchange student. We played Street Fighter at my house, and I beat him one match, and he beat me one match. That is, to date, one of my proudest moments in Street Fighter playing.
Nice. Who was your guy? Who was your guy?
I always like Ryu and Ken.
Yeah, those are fair, but I was always Vega, and I think it was because of the hair.
Vega's cool. I just can't take the charge moves, man. You have to hold back for 2 seconds. All right, but anyway.
So you're in Osaka.
In Osaka, we do Osaka Castle. We visit my friend in Nagoya. So like he went from Toyota to Nagoya. We went from Osaka to Nagoya.
Got it.
And we just kind of palled around Nagoya.
This map is really helpful.
We went to the aquarium, and the girls got to see dolphins and orcas and stuff, which was fun.
There's a castle in Nagoya as well.
Yep, which we did not see.
Which is called Nagoya Castle. It's handicapped accessible.
Well, that's good. We did a day, just like, we wanted to see Osaka Castle because we hadn't actually seen it before on our previous trip. We also did Super Nintendo World.
Oh, hell yes. Now you're talking.
Yeah. This was almost a disaster, but my wife talked me off the cliff.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't buy the tickets ahead of time through the official site. And if you buy them through the official site, you can go and like pre-register for entry to Super Nintendo World, because Super Nintendo World has a timed entry.
Okay.
Like, you can't just go there. You have to wait until it's your turn.
I'm looking at the translation of the website. And it's play wild. The instinct to play is explosive.
Yeah. So
go on.
So I had to buy it through this third-party site, which was fine. Like it wasn't a scam or anything. But because I did that, I couldn't register to get into the Super Nintendo World until I was at the park. So we went to the park at like noon, which was a mistake. If we wanted to do this, we were supposed to go way early in the morning, which at that point in the vacation is like, I am not waking up ass early on this fucking vacation.
Right.
So we get there at noon, and our timed entry is 7 p.m.
Oh my god.
And I'm like,
hopefully you're still jet lagged, because that's 8 a.m. That's a good time to go.
So I was really upset. I was like, this is the whole reason I came here. This is my own stupid fault. So Amber manages to say like, all right, just like chill out, relax, and let's go ahead. And they had like a kids ride area. So we went on kids rides. The girls really liked it. I went on 2 roller coasters. They were fucking awesome.
All right, I found 37 attractions there.
I went on the roller coaster called The Dream. And one of the sad things is that you had to choose music to go along with your ride. And there were two two coasters. One of them is in reverse though, so it goes on the same track. It's just backwards. But that coaster had Michael Jackson's "Bad."
Okay.
And I really wanted that.
Right.
But I didn't get that coaster. I got the other one, which goes forward, which is probably preferable for me anyway. But it did not have "Bad." I looked through the track list and I was like, if I get this, I'm gonna go with "Happy" by, is it Pharrell?
I wouldn't know.
You've heard the song "Happy."
Sure.
Happy, it was like, okay, I'm okay with this. I'll do this. But lots of twists and turns on that coaster. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And then the second one was like this Jurassic Park coaster. This thing was magnificent. This coaster, so it's one of those hanging coasters. Right. You sit in it, but then once everybody's locked in, it like turns you forward.
Oh, so you're flat.
Yeah, so if you look up, you're looking forward. And
There's
at the front,
Superman coaster in Pennsylvania that at least used to do that.
Well, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's at Hershey Park.
Oh, dude.
I think.
It's not that far.
I haven't been in like 15 years though.
Yeah. Well, at the front of the coaster is a like pterodactyl. So I guess the idea is like you're cool. A pterodactyl, right? And you're looking up and that might be the most intense coaster I've ever been on in my entire life. Amazing. Like just twists and turns. There's one where it goes down and it goes like under the walkway, like the concrete walkway. So you go through like a tunnel underneath where people are walking to the, just.
Oh, that's cool.
I went in the single riders line because it's just faster, and my wife doesn't like roller coasters and my kids are too small.
Estimated wait time 4 hours.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. See you in a bit. So I was it was like 3 Japanese girls and me. And the one girl was just shrieking constantly, and it was awesome. I had no idea what she was saying, but it was just one of those things where you could tell she's like, "Oh shit."
And you're like,
yeah. It was great. Like Amber actually caught her she filmed me going up, on the first drop, and you can hear the girl shrieking. It's great.
I'm seeing some other rides here: Mario Kart, Koopa's Challenge, Yoshi's Adventure, Power Up Band Key Challenges.
So we managed to stretch time until we got to Super Nintendo World. There are 2 rides at Super Nintendo World, one of which had like a 70-minute wait.
Ugh.
Which was probably that Mario, the first one you listed, and then the second one was the Yoshi's Adventure thing. But before I get into that, Super Nintendo World is ridiculous. It literally looks like a Super Mario level from the more recent games. So it's like you walk in and it's just like, holy smokes. It's something else. There's Thwomps and Mario and Koopas and Yoshis.
There's Thwomps? Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like...
Can you jump on the Koopas, or will that get you thrown out?
That would probably get you thrown out because they're pretty high. You'd have to do quite the gymnastics.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, I didn't realize this exactly till later. I sort of knew it, but I didn't know where to get them. There are these wristbands that you really must buy. Uh-huh. They're like $50 a pop.
Is that for the power-ups?
Yeah, so basically you can interact with the park. And there's like achievements based on you finding stuff and doing things in the park. So if you've played any of the more recent Marios, there's like roulette, it's sort of like a roulette sort of thing, or what do you call it? You try to match the pictures of stars and leaves and mushrooms and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
But you can
yeah.
You get an achievement for it in the Universal Studios app, and then you
don't get it. Does it go do 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 from Mario 2?
There are definitely times when it does that, like other games do.
Awesome.
But then there's also just like hidden things. Like I was watching kids go around and like tap their wrists on the wall, and then it would just like there'd just be like LED lights lighting up everywhere. And it would show like a picture of like Princess Peach from the original Super Mario Brothers.
Did you say this was $50 or 50 yen?
50. So it was 5,000 yen per. But keep in mind that right now, the exchange rate for yen is extremely favorable.
Oh, nice. All right.
So.
As of your trip.
Yes, yeah. So we kind of lucked out, but it was still, it wasn't exactly cheap to do all this, but it was.
Of course not.
It was fun. So we did that.
Wait, is this the end of the Universal Studios Japan?
Probably. I'm trying to.
We need to. I found all the rides. We need to go through and identify the metal ones because this is a metal podcast.
Oh, you're right.
All right.
Okay.
Abby's Magical Party. No. Abby's Magical Tree. No. Amity Boardwalk Games. Now that is Jaws, I believe.
Yeah, and there is a giant. Wait.
I know. There. I scrolled down the page. We'll get there.
Okay.
So Amity Boardwalk Games. No. Banana Cabana. No way. Bert and Ernie Prop Shop Game Place. Not metal. Bert and Ernie's Wonder, The Sea. No. This isn't all kid stuff, but this is like literally everything you can do. Big Bird's Big Nest. No. Big Bird's Big Top Circus. No. Cookie Monster Slide. I bet that's metal.
It looked pretty epic.
All right. We'll ding that one. Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. That sounds like it could be metal, but it depends how adorable the minions are.
I mean, they're probably going to be pretty adorable.
Okay, well, that's a no then. Elmo's Bubble Bubble. All right, this looks like you're riding in a fish car in some bubbles. So that's a no.
No.
Elmo's Go-Go Skateboard.
That is awesome.
Really? It doesn't look awesome.
It it's not like a roller coaster, but it actually... It produces some sensation of inertia, right?
Inertia's metal. All right.
Yeah.
Elmo's Little Drive. No. Ernie's Rubber Ducky Race. No. Festival in the Park. No. Night of the Hippogriff. What is a hippogriff?
Oh,
what property is this from?
Harry Potter. There's a Harry Potter world.
I'm gonna call it metal, but tentatively. All right. Freeze Raise Sliders.
I have no idea what that would be.
Grover's Construction Company.
I mean, you can die during construction.
Yeah, and everything's blue. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. I mean...
Forbidden.
Hello Kitty's Cupcake Dream. Now, this is going to surprise you. I'm going to say this is metal. It's a cupcake dream. Hello Kitty's Ribbon Collection. No. Hollywood Dream the Ride. No.
No. Hollywood Dream the Ride, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because that's one of the roller coasters.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing it.
And it's a pretty gnarly coaster. I was pretty happy with it.
Oh, and it's right next to Backdrop, which is the one with bad. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
So you go up the line, and there's a coaster here and a coaster here, but this one is reversed.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm going to call the Backdrop more metal.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
All right. Universal Studios Japan, Jaws. Yes. All right. So, is this the giant shark? Like, what is the Jaws ride?
I don't know what the Jaws ride is, but I do know that you can pose with Jaws being hung up and bloodied.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I have a picture of my wife and the girls with.
Well, remember the shark they caught in the first movie wasn't Jaws, it was just a shark.
Oh.
Remember, they cut it open. I watched it recently, as I
seen
do
it.
every July 4th.
I haven't seen Jaws since I was too young to watch Jaws.
Oh, God. That's metal. All right, Jurassic Park the ride? Yeah, it's gotta be.
Is that the pterodactyl one? Is that the roller coaster?
No, it's separate.
Oh. Yeah.
All right.
Probably has the.
Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge. Now, I'm gonna say Mario Kart is metal because anytime you're on Rainbow Road, at any moment you could fly into the abyss of nothingness, you know? All right, Moppy's balloon trip.
I went on that. Not metal.
All right. Moppy's lucky dance party.
No.
All right, we mentioned it's power up band key challenges. But the picture has Bowser Jr. throwing a bunch of bombs everywhere. Looks pretty cool.
There's a bunch of them. So, I mean, I think that one would be metal, but then there's ones where you're like trying to get a Goomba to slip off of a hill.
All right, well, let's call it even then.
Yeah.
Sesame's Big Drive. Snoopy's Soundstage Adventure. Space Fantasy The Ride. Space Killer. Great name, but it says super silly over it, so probably not. The Flying Dinosaur.
Is that the one that I went on?
That's the one, yep.
Yeah, that thing is fucking amazing.
All right, then finally, the Flying Snoopy.
No.
Water Garden.
That, I think it was just a splash pad.
And finally, Yoshi's Adventure.
Not metal, but cute.
All right. Well, there you go. So we have done we have done the required percentage of metal for this episode. So.
Speaking of seeing movies too young, you know the first rated R movie I saw in the theaters? My dad took me to it when I was 12. It was Event Horizon.
12. I wouldn't have guessed that. That's amazing.
Have you seen Event Horizon?
Yeah, well, I've seen at least one scene.
That movie is terrifying. And I remember being 12 and being like, if I freak out, my dad is never going to do this again. So, I'm going to...
You're enjoying the sun? It's cool!
Sit here and shut up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was something else.
Was that the culmination of your trip? Was it all backtracking back to the
let's see, what did we
airport?
do? We did a day trip to Kyoto to see the Golden Pavilion.
Right.
One thing I should mention, just because
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's metal.
I agree. I'm gonna mention here that the coffee in Japan is fucking
it's good.
Awesome.
Did you come home and drink some coffees, or what the fuck is this shit?
What is this swill? You ever see the SNL skit for swill? The mineral water from Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Pours it out and it's playing Anticipation.
Yep.
It's like a gelatinous goo. Anticipation. The bottle cap. Anyway, we saw the Golden Pavilion. While we were walking up to the Golden Pavilion, there was a crosswalk, and we were like, trying to gather everybody so that we all walked together at the same time. And so we were going to miss the crosswalk, but there were people finishing up crossing, and there was this one poor lady. I don't know what happened. I think she was walking and her shoe caught the curb. But she just ate it, man. Like, she went down. And like, if I fell, not that I should do this, but I would probably put out my hands, and I'd she didn't do that. No,
face first.
It's good that she didn't, because that's part of the reason I fractured my wrist. No, she. I mean, I feel like she used her elbows or something, but like her one shoe popped off. And so I like ran over and I grabbed her arm and like tried, I helped her up, and then there were some other people that came over to help. But it's like, oh man, I felt so bad for her. Man, she really ate it. But I guess that was metal. So I decided to bring it up.
Thank you for that.
Golden Pavilion itself was cool, very touristy. Then the next day we came home, and that was an ordeal. Because we had to take it. I threaded the needle much more closely than I had intended in terms of our timing.
I'm assuming you flew out of Narita.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like where all the international flights are.
Well,
but it's far outside of Tokyo.
And we started the day in Osaka.
Oh God.
So.
Yeah. So what's the equivalent? I wonder what the European or American equivalent of that is. Go on.
I mean, I guess it'd be trying to get to I don't know. What's EWR, the Jersey airport?
Ugh. That's Newark.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of international flights that go out of Newark, though. So,
Right.
It'd be like being in Maryland and saying, okay, I got to get to Newark.
Even if you take the Shinkansen, which is their bullet train, it's still 4 hours to do it.
Yeah. So what happened is that we got to Tokyo, and I was looking for the Narita Express train. I couldn't find it. I had no idea where it was, but our timing was so tight. So I ended up asking for help, and they're trying to be like, "Oh, go to the bus terminal." I was like, "This is not going to work." So I got a taxi.
Ooh.
Taxis are not meant to be taken distances like this.
Right.
So this was a $200 taxi ride.
Well, to take a taxi from north of Washington, D.C. to Dulles Airport is like more than half that.
Oh.
I know, because I used to, at the place I used to work, I'd put in a travel claim and they'd flag it. I'm like, that's how much it costs.
Okay.
It's not my fault they built the airport, after 30 miles of gridlock. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. And anyway, we got through, did that, got to the airport, we were fine, got home, and we're still sort of jet lagged. That was
wow.
We got home on Friday, and it is currently Wednesday.
I'm reading a lot of glowing reviews about this city called Fukushima. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Well, awesome.
That's about the trip. We got some small souvenirs, but overall, good time.
Nice. Well, now I at least want Japanese food, Thanks for that. All right, until next time, Metal Nation, get to Universal Studios Japan early so you can ride all the Mario rides. Got it? Good. I mean, Bowser's just metal as fuck at all times. Lives in a castle with lava, has spikes. These are all metal things.
Surrounded by women.
Uh-huh.
Well, woman. I guess maybe that's...